If I were in a position where, Scott, you have to speak to this person and give them advice or say something encouraging to them, I guess I would say this. Well, welcome everybody to 10K Tuesday. Getting ready to run up a nice big hill right there. Anyway, on 10K Tuesday, what we do here is we're strive to make 10K, but we're definitely going to run 10K. We're not opposed to doing both. And we almost pulled off the money part actually yesterday in the realm of Bitcoin. If you want to double check me, you'll see that Monday, May 20th was a really good day for Bitcoin. And that's the tide that raises all the other crypto buoys. This little move with Shiba Inu, the kind of a crap meme coin, but it's a strong former runner, was highly profitable. Just that small move. So we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, we're getting ready to go up Hell Hill here on my 10K route. Well, it's actually a 5K route that I do twice, so I get to do this thing 2 times for you. Well, not for you, it's for me. Selfishly, maybe it'll inspire you to come out and do it. Whole point of this video is what would you say to a man who's never getting out of prison? And that was really on my mind because this past week I visited a level 3, level 4 prison facility called Green Rock in Chatham, Virginia, or Gretna, Virginia, somewhere around Pennsylvania County, and participated in a prison ministry program called Kairos. They go in every month and they're, work with inmates, helping them spiritually. But twice a year, bake cookies and distribute them to all the inmates. We're talking about like 4,000 inmates and guards as well, try to include them. So, I picked a hell of a spot to try to talk. Shoot. All right, I'm gonna pull over here when I get to one of my favorite spots on the route, and we'll pick up where we left off here. I need all my breath. Woo! There's another hill up there, and we literally end up at a place called High Street, which is the highest place in Christiansburg. All right, see you in a second. Woo! Top of the hill, baby. All right, we're gonna pull over here in this really great sanctuary. Nice little garden area at this church. Cool. All right, run is paused. What would I say to a man never getting out of prison? Like as a guest, I don't want to portray it as if like I'm this huge part of this prison ministry called Kairos. I was a volunteer, baked a couple cookies on a couple instances, and went to this particular closing ceremony where we met inmates face to face. The volunteers were sitting this way, podium in the middle, and the inmates were facing us, kind of like a choir behind, a preacher at a church. And they would come up to the microphone and they would speak to us and address 3 questions, which we'll cover here in the video. And they essentially, really were grateful for the attention that the volunteers and organization gave them, and of course the cookies. But anyway, we baked so there's say like 4,000. I'm freestyling here. I'm in the ballpark. There's like 4,000 inmates at this particular facility. Kairos operates nationwide, and the idea was to get cookies to about 6 cookies, half a dozen cookies to every inmate and guard within the facility. That happens twice a year, and then volunteers and ministers, or pastors within the Kairos ministry go about every month to actually meet with inmates who have decided to become members of this Kairos Prison Ministry. So I thought to myself, man, I'm probably going to meet people that will never be getting out of prison, and if I had to say something to them, what would I say? And first of all, I would offer to listen to them, and we'll talk about it in the video, but they really wanted to be listened to. And but if I had to give advice, this is what I would say, and I thought a lot about it, in that prison is a boundary. You know, for you, sometimes you can't leave your cell. There's certain buildings, there's the yard, and then ultimately there's the fence with the razor wire. That is your ultimate boundary. And for some of us, it may be Montgomery County. You know, here in Virginia, I met a lady I worked this job at Walmart many years ago. Met a woman there who'd never been to the beach. Virginia has a coastline. It's like 6 hours away. You can get to the beach from here. So apparently this county, was her prison. For some people, prison might be a wheelchair. Although I did see a lady at Kroger's getting in and out of a wheelchair, putting it into her own car. I offered to help her. She's like, no, I got a system. I'm good. She didn't even need my help. She was just pushing the absolute boundaries of her prison. Prison could be your bed. Prison could be your body. Stephen Hawking, the only thing he could move on his entire body ultimately was his eyes. And that dude wrote books this thick, looking at a computer screen. Somehow they figured that out, like back in the 80s, actually. That's a really technological wonder. But so think of a prison as a boundary, and you need to find your happiness within that boundary. We all do. If we chase this I'll be happy when, that's bullshit. Think of all the things that you wanted and you thought would make you happy. For instance, like when you were a kid, you wanted a bike. You'll be happy when you get that bike. And then the bike came on your birthday, and then 2 days later it's just another freaking bike. So for most prisoners, I imagine is, I'll be happy when I get out of here. That's kind of a no-brainer. In fact, I encountered a little bit of that. My hand's getting tired. So if you think you're going to find your happiness only when you leave, man, you got a tough road to hoe. So my advice is to be grateful and happy and find happiness wherever you can, however you can, where you are. And I would have a system in place. As soon as you open your eyes, it's going to be hard to find things to be grateful for, but I'd start with the ability to open your eyes and that you have a heartbeat. That's a good place to start. And I imagine there are books in prison that you can get your hands on, and start with books, some sort of spiritual reading and reflection on that reading. Get your mind right, take up meditation, and then take up exercise. You can exercise in prison. Burpees are wonderful. Start with some sort of exercise regimen. And so you got this realm of control right here. You can't control a whole lot out there. That goes for all of us. I learned this in the 7 Habits of Successful People, Stephen Covey, that our circle of concern and our circle of influence. Well, your circle of influence is your body. Start there. Create the best body you can. Start there. And then that circle will expand, because other people will want to be around you, and it's going to rub off on other people. I've seen that here. I mean, heck, just the other day I ran into an old friend, and he couldn't believe, he said, those are his words, that I look spectacular or really good or something like that. Anyway, I got in the text message. And he actually said, I'm envious. He said those words. And I said, come on, you can join me. It's kind of like Dolly Parton said when people accused her of leaving country music. She said, I'm not leaving country music, I'm taking y'all with me. So come on. So anyway, I hope, what I was thinking about would be helpful to a man never getting out of prison, or a woman, and helpful to all of us out here trying to operate in life and trying to find happiness and purpose. And so anyway, I'm gonna, by the way, I was limited with the video. I couldn't take it. You can't take cameras into prison. And So I just did the best I could. And you know, it's kind of a weird, awkward moment. Like I kind of thought, man, I wish I would have taken some pictures with Dustin and some of the other volunteers. But man, when you leave prison like that, you know, it's just, it's not like, it's kind of like how people take pictures at a freaking funeral. It's just like weird, man, because you know, there's a sadness about, and like you don't want to like commemorate the sadness, but you know, for what these volunteers did, I kind of feel like maybe they should have taken some pictures, but I'm a picture guy. It wasn't up to me. Now I'm kind of rambling. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video that I shot, you know, trying to participate in this event. And, you know, I just couldn't help it. It's one of those things that, you know, the average Joe does not get to do. And, you know, we'll see where it goes. If I'll always make some cookies if they ask me. We'll just cross that bridge. You know, as far as further involvement with the organization, it seems very worthwhile to me. Okay, I need to finish this run. All right, enjoy the video. There we go. A little bit of elevation change on this one. Bammers. You got that straight. Okay, so hey, this episode here this week is, what would you say to a man who's never getting out of prison? What would you say to that man? The reason why I propose such a question is I just came from the Green Rock Correctional Facility, and the purpose of that visit was I've contributed cookies to the Kairos Prison Ministry a couple times now, and so my friend who got me involved with that said, hey, do you want to come to the prison this time? And I said, yeah, I'll come. So it occurred to me, you know, I'm going to meet people, I've just met them, that will never get out. What would I say to such a person? So if I were placed in such a situation, I guess the first thing I would do is offer to listen to that person. We all want to be heard. And Lord, was that correct? Because given the opportunity, those guys were presented with microphones. What they could do is come up to a podium and speak. And comically, 3 of them came up 2 times to speak, you know, kind of hogging the mic. But yeah, they just wanted to be heard. But they were so just thankful that strangers cared about them and wanted to come see them and essentially, you know, help them become morally straight and upright. And you know, you could do it through religion. I mean, that's basically what it's all about, the way I see it. I'm so ignorant about how the program operates. I almost hesitate to make this video, but it was so meaningful for me to be a part of it. Man, I could not, because man, it's freaking real walking into a prison that's high security. The chain link fences, the razor wire, you know, it's kind of like boarding an airplane as far as like putting your stuff and walking through an x-ray machine. But once you start to see the inmates, a gate closes behind you. Yeah, it's freaking real. But nevertheless, I mean, it was a really good experience. I'd say there were about 50 inmates that participated, and there were probably about 80 to 100 volunteers there. And so it's kind of like so it was held in a basketball court. Like, it's easy to tell the inmates versus the volunteers. The inmates are, you know, they got blue jeans and like blue shirts, and a few of them have like bright orange stocking caps. The volunteers sat in, it's kind of set up like a church where you sit in chairs lined up. That's the volunteers, and then you got a podium in the middle, and behind that podium are chairs where the inmates were sitting. Kind of like, we'll say, like a choir within a church. You know, I'm glad I'm doing this while I'm fresh, because I can remember the context of what they were operating from. They were presented 3 questions. Question number 1, how were you spiritually conditioned before you came into the Kairos program? And then question 2, what did you find with the Kairos program? Question number 3 was, what will you be taking from the Kairos program? And so, you know, the way this seems to work is, you know, the cookie thing happens twice a year, but these guys with this prison ministry, Kairos, they come in once a month and work with these inmates. And we were told coming in to the prison that gangs exist here. And that was really bizarre to me when they said, what gangs? They said Bloods and Crips are here and MS-13. This is Southwest Virginia. This is farm country. And it blew my mind that those gangs that, you hear about, like in the movies and TV, that the average Joe might think, oh, that's just California stuff. No, I had no idea. It blew my mind that. So, which takes me to the third question. When a lot of these guys would say, what are you taking with you? They said community and hope. Most of these guys, they're not horsing to join a gang. We'll call it Kairos or Christianity, or we'll call it the good guy gang. Because what I saw, where I saw black guys, white guys, Hispanics, the whole thing, the mix, really, right? And they were genuinely liked each other. They didn't appear to me that they felt segregated by race. They were high-fiving each other, they're ribbing each other, poking fun at each other. They're just regular dudes, except they were, going through prison sentences. So I appreciate that aspect, the humanity, of it. Because the first question was, what were you like coming into the program? They were hopeless, lonely, sad, dejected. What'd you find? Love, compassion, somebody to listen to me. And those guys really wanted to be listened to. A couple of them came up on the mic a couple times to speak. It was comical, but when I raised the question in this video, what would you say to a man never getting out of prison? The first thing I thought of was, well, I bet he'd want to be heard first. And boy, they wanted to be heard. I got that right. But the chaplain, he did say, now you're getting ready to go back into the darkness. He said that to their faces, which, and then another gentleman came up to me. Him and his wife had been in this program 24 years. He said, yeah, these guys, they're getting ready to go back into hell now, and there's nothing we can do about that except to come back next month and try to help them through this. Wow. He said, so, they're going back into darkness, and they're just trying to give them some light to carry with them and to kind of create a brotherhood amongst themselves, that they can talk to each other and they can say what they're really feeling. I would expect that in a high security prison, you got to kind of toe the line and be macho and, not be seen as weak, and therefore, you're presenting a side of yourself that's not truly you to keep up a facade, so strong equals safe is what they're probably thinking there. And, when really, hurt people. I actually heard that from a man who'd spent 10 years in prison, a guy named Wes Watson. While we're here, they need a purpose. We all need a purpose, but if you're in prison, you really need a purpose. And that's one thing that they're taking with them. And the way I understand our purpose to be, I read this in Marianne Williamson wrote a book called A Return to Love. It's a phenomenal book. I highly recommend it. But she said, our purpose is to heal ourselves and teach others to do the same thing. And wow, that really helped me. And if you're hearing that for the first time, I hope it helps you. So let's say this again. Our purpose is to heal ourselves and teach others to do the same. So, I can tell other people what will help you save your marriage. I can tell other people how to quit drinking and quit tobacco use and kick nicotine, which that's no small thing right there. A lot of people talk about the big drugs. Alcohol and tobacco's, that's huge, man, to be able to kick that. you know, I can't teach you how to do your first IPO. Why? Because I've not done that. Initial public offering, you know, launch your company onto the stock market. So cool, yeah. I'm going to wrap this up, and I hope you gain something from it. And if you have an opportunity to contribute to the Kairos organization, bake some cookies, do some good, hope you take it. All right, create a great day. Do not waste this day, and go be yourselves. Everybody else is taken. I gotta go be Scott Turner. Thanks for watching. Hey, thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it and gained something from it. By the way, if you want or need to make money from home, I have a free online course that's ready to rock. All you gotta do is go into the notes below this very video you're watching and just click the thing. It's already there. It's ready to go. Don't even want your email. It's my gift to you. If you wouldn't mind subscribing to the channel, that would mean the world to me. It doesn't cost you a dime. I hope it works for you. We'll see you in the next video.